Today I am sharing 3 essential tips for anyone who is planning or beginning their home renovation. Incorporating all of these tips is like literally a cheat code to a successful renovation. These are based on my experience renovating my own home, as well as my experience as an interior designer. My name is Sarah. I am the founder and principal designer of Outliers Interior Design Studio. I'll be looking down just because I have a lot of notes here. Tip number 1, have a clear vision of your end result. Before you say like, I want cottagecore, this is beyond aesthetic or style choice. Like no specific colors, anything yet, okay? I want you to think of places you've been that it elicited like emotion from you. Maybe you were like awestruck. Maybe you were inspired. Maybe you were just like, oh, I feel so peaceful and serene here. Maybe you felt energized. Like think of a couple of those spaces you've been in and think of the emotional qualities of those spaces and identify those, extract them out, and think of like, do I want to incorporate these in my own living space? Define your vision by that desired feeling, as well as the functions that are going to occur there. So understand who is going to use the space, how will it be used, how often will it be used. And when you do that, like link your vision with the activities and functions of a space, you're going to create something that is so uniquely yours and authentic to you. And that's really going to help you navigate through design trends and, knowing what's for you. Like you're going to be like, smash or not. Like this has no place in my life. I love the aesthetic, but let's move on. And that's really going to conserve your energy, your time, your financial resources as you go through your renovation. Tip number 2, baseline conditions. And by this, I mean, what are you working with? This is going to depend greatly on the scope of your project. I think a way I can best illustrate this point is by sharing a little bit of my own renovation. In phase 1, it was my own project. This included refinishing the heavily lacquered floor that was buried beneath a layer of old low-pile Berber carpet. This was a bit of an excavation, and I had to remove the carpet, remove the floor pad, clean it all up. We had to remove the polyurethane, and then we're getting to examining what are we working with here. I wanted to keep those old red oak floors. The red oak was a whole other issue, but keeping them meant evaluating the condition of the wood floors. Like, are there cracks? Are there signs of rot that would need to be treated or repaired or replaced? Luckily, mine were in excellent condition again because they were so heavily protected. I also had to decide like what kind of intervention I'm going to use to remove like all that polyurethane. Is it going to be a chemical or mechanical one? Now that the poly was gone, I also had to take the time to understand the type of wood I was working with and what are its natural characteristics. So when I talk about baseline conditions, it's about understanding the inherent properties of that thing. So was it laminate, solid, or engineered hardwood? Understanding that would determine how much of the face could be sanded down and what are the risks of damage to the floor. And I need to understand the wood species. Dealing with a red oak is very different than hickory or maple. How was the wood sawn when it was lumbered? So was it plain, quarter rift? This is really important to understanding like the grain patterns that are going to result. Are they distinct? Are they subtle? Are they uniform? Are there swirls and knots? How are those patterns of grain going to accept stain, and how is this going to impact the end result? This was a major issue for me with my floor, and I think I might do a separate video just about staining floors, because I think hopefully it'll be valuable to somebody, because there are a lot of answers I was searching for out there that I kind of like pieced together through like my own experience as well as like a few other people's videos. Understanding a baseline really determined my stain selection, and that leads me to tip number 3, applications. What application are you going to use to achieve your outcome? If you know crystal clear what your end result is, step one, and you understand where you're starting from, which is your baseline over here, step two, step number three is going to be what applications you need to endorse to achieve your outcome. You're going to think about things like sheen level, texture, durability, maintenance, the purpose. Like, is this for a rental? Is this for your own home living? Is this for a commercial space? Like, etc. What is the lifespan of the product that you're going to use? What are the health considerations you need to know when using this product? Like, is this something that has crazy fumes that, like, you're going to need your windows open, but it's like February and that's not really practical. That might help you in ordering the things that you're doing for your renovation at that time. Like, you don't want to be painting in the dead heat of the summer because that's going to affect how your paint dries. Your health considerations, like what are PPE that you're going to need when you're applying this thing? What are the environmental considerations during the use and the disposal of this application? These three things, I find they're like often overlooked because they're overshadowed by major questions and really important questions such as budget, timeline, aesthetic. But it's so crucial to understanding, like, what do I want out of this? And to know where you're going, you need to know where you're beginning, and you're going to need to know what you need to get there. If you don't know, you're going to accept less than what you truly want. For example, when I sanded the floors the first time and we stained them, the stain was beautiful. Like, it looked gorgeous, but it wasn't what I wanted. And sadly, I submitted myself to resanding the floors. It was an incredibly arduous process, but it just wasn't what I wanted. And so I put myself through all that because I knew what I wanted. And so despite testing and whatnot that I had done in the beginning, I needed to go through that process again. And so I think maybe like a bonus tip would be like number four, have tons of patience and a lot of grace for yourself when you do make mistakes. Like, I was upset. I was upset about it. But like, it all comes down to understanding that materiality. Like, what are you working with in the beginning and how does it change? So yeah, I hope those things are as valuable to you as they are to me. Hopefully this helps someone else in their process. Like I said, I will do another video about staining because it was really hard working with a material like red oak as a baseline material. I hope that you will stick around for that one too. Okay, have a good day and see you on the next one. Bye.